he's an interesting player. Like I like Byron Pringle, but then again, he's kind of a static player in that I think he's going to give the Chiefs the same amount of production no matter how long he's with the team. Now, a guy that you kind of hinted at, Cornell Powell, I think he would be that fifth guy. And we'll talk about candidates for the sixth option here in a second. Cornell Powell, 882 yards, 7 touchdowns last season at Clemson, broke out as a fifth-year senior, has the size to be an outside weapon, has the route running ability to offer a little bit of promise in the slot if needed as a slightly bigger slot option. He's a guy that I think on other teams would get a bigger chance this season than he will with the Chiefs. The Chiefs luckily have Tyreek Hill as their obvious number one option. They have Travis Kelce. They have Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Then they're going to give McCall Hardman chances. They're going to give Demarcus Robinson chances. Powell just seems like he has a ceiling that isn't even defined by him this season, but it's defined by the talent ahead of him. With that said, I like the promise he offers as a route runner. He seems like a really intelligent and advanced player for a guy who's just now heading into the NFL. That checks out with his age and being the 5-year college guy and everything. But Mark, what do you think about Powell, and what do you think this season at least he can provide for the Chiefs?
Yeah, Powell was that late bloomer. I mean, Clemson has a ton of good receivers locked and loaded there. They have for a long time. I mean, going back to Sammy Watkins days. So, I mean, there was a lot of good players, a good talent in front of him there at Clemson. So I'm not going to say, fault him for not breaking out until later in his career there. But yeah, he looked really solid there. I think the video that was going around draft time, especially after the Chiefs got him, was him putting that Ohio State cornerback on his butt with the move that he made, like that double move right there in the red zone. And as a Chiefs fan, you see me laughing and smiling right here. Like, if you see him do stuff like that with the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, I mean, he's only going to get better. I know that his age is a little bit of he's like 24 probably right now, I think 23, something like that. So he's a little bit older coming out, but he's just going to be here for his rookie deal, most likely. So we're going to have him till he's, 28, 29 years old. So yeah, I mean, I think we're going to have him in his prime, which is going to be solid. I think that he'll be able to be that X receiver eventually. I think he's probably what DeMarcus is right now. I think that's probably what Powell will be next year and going forward, being that guy that can, hopefully get you the 800 yards, 6 touchdowns. And I know I said that was Robinson's ceiling. So I'm hoping that Powell can be that guy consistently, as he gets more integrated into the offense.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. So the top, I guess, 5, we could both agree: Hill, Hardman, Robinson, Pringle, Powell. I guess the 6th spot is kind of up for grabs, and you have Marcus Kemp, you have Antonio Callaway, you have guys like Eric Dieter. There's really several ways the Chiefs can go with this. Callaway obviously has the higher ceiling. I think in that spot, he had 586 yards, 5 touchdowns as a rookie. Granted, that was back in 2018. Since then, he has 109, total receiving yards. He's on the outside looking in. There hasn't been a ton of buzz around him during camp. Now, the thing with Marcus Kemp, he has the special teams kind of stud placard on his resume, whatever. He has that badge, I guess, with Dave Tube and the rest of the guys. 2 career catches in the regular season. Like, he's not a guy that is going to see the field very much on offense, at least, and catch a lot of passes. He's not going to get the ball thrown his way. He'll get some preseason action and do stuff like that. I didn't know he was 6'4". That doesn't account for a whole lot. But Marcus Kemp, kind of an intriguing player. I mean, he's 25 years old. He's been with the team for a minute now. The Chiefs know what they have in him, but they also don't quite know what they have in him, I guess. And I think that the same could be said with Callaway, but I'd personally opt Callaway, even though he doesn't have the special teams ability. He pales in comparison to Kemp in that regard. Mark, which one would you go with if you were the Chiefs? And then which one do you think the Chiefs will go with? Because obviously they're the ones calling the shots.
Yeah, I like the upside of Callaway and just the intrigue of Callaway after, he had a pretty good rookie season. Then he's been kind of down the last couple of years with the Browns. But I think the Chiefs will probably go Kemp just because of his history with the team and what he brings on special teams. I know it's weird to say, but they really like their special teams players here in Kansas City. I don't know if every team prioritizes their special teams like the Chiefs do, but hey, it's been working for them. So it's not a bad thing to prioritize. But yeah, Kemp, like you said, he's a tall guy. He's that guy that's always down there pinning the ball inside the 10-yard line. He's like, he's the guy that gets down there. He's got the height. He can jump and he can bat the ball out of the end zone. He can make the save. He can make Tommy Townsend look even better than he already is. So yeah, Kemp, I think, is a guy that they probably will keep. Callaway is an intriguing player that I'd like to see how he does in the preseason. I'm sure they'd like to see what he does in the preseason as well. But yeah, I think the Chiefs will probably go Kemp. I would lean Callaway. Chiefs probably lean Kemp.